change the scenario a bit now. What if you just set up some sort of system? What if you write an algorithm? Maybe you can write an algorithm to do war. But in general, suppose you write an algorithm to do something. Can you get in trouble for that in any of these three senses? Is there an algorithm that you can design and distribute that might land you in a bit of hot water? That's a good point. Yeah. How close could you have seen what this algorithm is actually going to be used for? Okay, so you're saying that if it's too obfuscated as to what the algorithm can ultimately do, then this absolves you in some way? Okay. Yeah. It's your ignorance. I mean, one of your faults, so that your ignorance is part of that process. Now, where here might that then sit? Do you think that you could go to jail for something like this? Do you think you could be sued for something like this? Do you think you can go to hell for something like this? Okay. Would you share with us a brief of the outcome of this? Funny that. Okay. You can share with us the details of that in discussion. I think that might be interesting. I do want to move on. So I have a particular example in mind. So there were two, so this is not mathematics, but it is designing an algorithmic process. There were two psychologists in the States, and they were doing some contract work for the US military. And part of that work was to develop an algorithm. The algorithm was the torture manual for Guantanamo Bay. It's an algorithm, right? Monday morning, 9 a.m., shake the prisoner. 9:45, shake the prisoner. 10:15, pour cold water on them. 10:30, hang them upside down. 10:45, we're up again. It's an algorithm. Totally algorithmic process. How to implement soft touch and UN permissible, from what the lawyers were saying, torture on these sorts of things. So they made the torture manual for Guantanamo Bay. And they got paid quite well. $18 million they received for that little bit of work. That took them a little while, but they got it all together, debunked it, whatever, and maybe they're in C++. So this was actually implemented for several years. Then a couple of years ago, some former Guantanamo Bay inmates or their surviving relatives, because your life expectancy in Guantanamo Bay is not so great, decided, well, that was shit. We want some retribution. Couldn't bring criminal charges against them because of some quirk in US law. This is a CIA operation. Anyone involved has some sort of immunity there. But someone realized, well, we can try and sue them. Let's do that. So they started a case to sue these two psychologists. And this went through various sort of steps, and there were these sort of depositional hearings, and this is actually recorded. Recordings of these up online. where these two psychologists were defending themselves and saying things like, well, it's not really torture, it's just the thing that makes you feel quite uncomfortable at the time. Like, what the fuck do you think that is? It's torture in my books. And they were saying, well, you know, we were told, you know, if you don't do it, someone else will. We were being told, you know, we were being pussies for not doing it. That's quote unquote from the video, by the way. You got this psychologist, you know, 50-year-old guy, white beard, has had years of training. He said, well, they said we'd be pussies if we weren't doing it. Hey, are you for real? Is this, like, you got a psychologist. You build these sorts of games. How is this working on you? Freaking idiots. And, you know, the typical, you know, the terrorists are coming to blow up your children type thing. If you don't do this, then the country will fall into anarchy. So they did it, and then their defense was, hey, we just provided the algorithm. We didn't actually torture anyone, which is true. They were present on Guantanamo at some points, but they weren't the ones, you know, poking the sticks into the prisoners. They designed the algorithm. They made sure it was running properly, no bugs appearing. So they were trying to say, no, this is not our problem. You got a problem, take it up with the CIA. They'll definitely respond nicely, but this is not our problem. So this went through pre-trial hearing. So should this go to trial as a civil case? What do you think happened? Which way did it go? Did the judges say, yes, we will take this to trial because we think there is a case to answer for in the civil courts? Or no, they just designed an algorithm, it's not their fault. This happened about 12 months ago.
Was the judge Brett Kavanaugh?
I don't remember. Probably not. So what do you think the verdict was? Put your hand up if you think that the judge said, yes, this is going to civil trial. One hand up. Put your hand up if you think the judge says, no, this is not going to civil trial. The judge said, yes, it's going to civil trial. They settled 24 hours later for an undisclosed sum. Because it's civil, it's just money. You can't jail someone. I don't think. Can you jail someone in civil? No, you can't jail someone. That cost me 20 quid just there. So the judge said, yeah, actually, you guys are part of this. These people had some suffering and pain, by definition. That's what torture is, suffering and pain. So you're going to pay through the nose. They settled immediately. Can you cut? I won't do evil. You think that might absolve you? You think that might absolve you? So if I sell stuff to ISIS and they sign a contract that says I won't do evil, the judge is probably going to laugh at me. But if I sell it to a corporation, you know, based in the country I'm currently in, maybe that does it. Our lawyer will explain shortly. Maybe this, I don't know. This is beyond my comprehension as a mathematician. I would like to actually hear what you think of this. So, okay, they got sued. Proper sued for writing this algorithm. And they're going to outline a case study that we are going to pick apart. And this is actually a genuine case study. So, again, I'm going to mention Tinder. And Tinder plays a part in this long chain of events. So there was a researcher called Stuart Coliani, and an undergraduate at Notre Dame, masters at Stanford, then works in industry, works in AI research. So he wrote a simple script to scrape Tinder profiles through the API. It's the application programming interface. So it's the part of Tinder that computers sort of talk to. You see pictures and stuff on Tinder, but there's a backend. You can plug into that backend. So he wrote a script that could scrape Tinder profiles for pictures, profile pictures. And he actually put this script up on GitHub. He used this script to scrape 40,000 Tinder photos from the Bay Area. This is in California. And he put those photos up on GitHub as well. Why was he doing this? Well, he wanted to use his data on a site called Kaggle, which had been bought by Google recently, to do machine learning. And he said, quote unquote, I plan on using the data set with TensorFlow's inception to try and create a neural network that is capable of distinguishing between men and women. So he wanted to do some machine learning to tell the picture was male or female. And he thought, well, I need some photos for this. Where are we going to get them? We're going to get lots of photos of the same person. Well, Tinder. Tinder has 5 photos of all its users. Here, 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 here. It's a nice little data set all packaged up. So he said, well, let's take that. 40,000 pictures. He did this. Put the pictures up online on GitHub, as well as his scraping code. And then people started getting pissed off. Who got pissed off? Well, you've got a chain of people. You've got the users here. You've got Tinder. You've got the researcher. You've got Kaggle. And this is kind of associated to Google. Google had just bought Kaggle. Okay, so the users were pissed. Because their photos had been scraped, machine learning had been done on that. So, did anything go wrong in this process? Has anyone done something wrong in maybe any of these 3 cases? And where might responsibility lie? I don't know if we're going to start with moral. Maybe we'll start with moral. So who did someone's going to put them in hell? Who do you think he did an immoral thing? You know, have to say their penance on Sunday morning at Mass. Kaggle is a site that you can upload data sets to run machine learning. Yeah. So you can sort of consider these as now the same model. Kind of. Okay, did anyone do something immoral here? Okay. But Tinder has a terms of service thing, which their defense is, well, he violated our terms of service. I mean, what he said, all he basically did was write a little script that swipes really quickly. That's what his script does. It makes Tinder think that someone's swiping extraordinarily fast and keeps serving them more photos. Same functionality, just sped up. He didn't get any information from Tinder that he couldn't otherwise get in another way. It's just that he did it faster. So Tinder for just existing, the users for being foolish and putting their data up there, the researcher for being irresponsible in script. So you're saying that there is a moral liability here. Who have they harmed? So it's immoral to harm yourself. Okay, that's an interesting. I've not heard that one before. Yeah, but lots of things are legal and moral and vice versa. Okay, that's interesting. Because I don't want to go too deep into this one side point of doing something to harm yourself. I saw something else. Yeah. How aware were they of Tinder's of the way Tinder operates? How aware were they? I mean, they thought, I put my photo up, and then someone's trying to, look for a date on Saturday night, and they might see me, they might not. Did they realise it was technically possible for someone to come along and scrape 40,000 photos all at once, stick them up online, run some machine learning on them, so that you can then determine gender? Did they understand that? Did Tinder make that clear to them? That's unclear. Yeah, we mentioned this last lecture. 15 pages terms and condition, and some of that's technical, how you understand what's going on. What about civil liability? I'm a user, I'm pissed. Who can I sue? Or I'm Tinder, I'm pissed. Who can I sue? This person probably can't sue anyone. I'm Kaggle and Google. People have been putting stuff on my site that they shouldn't be putting on it. Who can I sue? Can anyone here sue anyone? Okay, I don't know if this person actually was a Tinder user. I think it was a case that he was able to just plug into the back of Tinder or make some dummy account and then hoover it all up. That was something I learned today actually. I didn't realize he put the photos on GitHub. I think that was just epically stupid. Alright, so who else might be able to sue who? Whose law would apply here? I'm a user in the Bay Area, but I actually live in France. Okay. So who do we think... So let's try to do a poll and then we'll get a lawyer up. Who thinks that Tinder can be sued? No one thinks Tinder can be sued. So maybe depending on terms and conditions. Who thinks the researcher can be sued? Not sure. But that's actually a good question because it might not just be him. He might have a higher authority. Who thinks that Google and Kaggle can be sued? No one. Okay. And finally, do you think anyone here can go to jail? Let's go to criminal law. Who can go to jail? Why don't we bring up Anne Christine now, and we'll pick this apart. So Anne is doing her PhD at the moment in law and technology, loosely described. So how the law understands tech / how the tech understands the law.